Today, everything shifts. And I say this without an ounce of exaggeration. What's about to unfold in the cosmos hasn't manifested with this kind of profound intensity in years. Most individuals will awaken on Thursday morning believing it's just another ordinary day, proceeding through their routines, completely oblivious to the dramatic cosmic landscape that has just reconfigured beneath their feet. But you're different. You can already sense it, can't you? That insistent, restless energy building within you. That deep-seated feeling that something significant is on the cusp of breaking open. That peculiar sensation, almost like you've been patiently waiting for a cosmic green light, for permission to finally make your move. Well, consider this your permission slip. Today, April 9th, 2026, at precisely 3003 in the afternoon, Mars, the potent planet governing action, courage, willpower, and raw, unadulterated drive, crosses a critical threshold. It re-enters its powerful home sign of Aries. And let me tell you, when Mars returns to its rightful domain, everything changes. This isn't merely another routine planetary transit. This is the cosmic equivalent of a match being struck in a chamber that's been steadily accumulating highly combustible gasoline for months. The energetic pressure has been mounting, building to a critical point, and today it spectacularly ignites. If you've recently felt as if you're mired in wet cement, where every single action demands a Herculean effort, or like you're attempting to run through thick, resistant water, then pay close attention. There's one specific, compelling reason why this particular sensation has been plaguing you, and I'll delve into exactly what it is later in this video. So, please, stick around. But first, you absolutely need to grasp something profoundly crucial. The coming 10 days will not just influence, they will define the overarching trajectory of your entire year. The critical choices you dare to make, the profound courage you manage to summon, and the bold, decisive moves you execute between April 9th and April 19th will meticulously lay the foundational groundwork for everything that follows. This is not a practice drill. This is not hyperbole designed to grab your attention. This is the universe, quite literally, placing a powerful cosmic weapon directly into your hands and declaring, it's time. The only question that remains is, are you truly ready to wield it? That oppressive wet cement feeling is about to spectacularly vanish. Let's candidly address what you've likely been experiencing for the past few weeks, perhaps even the past few months. Everything has felt undeniably slow, hasn't it? As if you're navigating through thick, sticky molasses. You've diligently set intentions, meticulously crafted plans, and tirelessly attempted to push forward. But it's been as if the universe consistently hits the pause button on your progress. You might have understandably attributed this stagnation to Mercury retrograde, to the heavy, restrictive energy of Saturn, or perhaps just to an off period in your life. But here's the unvarnished truth of what's genuinely been unfolding. Mars has been concluding its intricate journey through Pisces. And Mars, navigating Pisces, is akin to a high-performance sports car valiantly attempting to drive through the vast, undulating ocean. It simply doesn't work effectively. Mars is the celestial body of direct action, sharp, decisive choices, and undeniable forward momentum. Pisces, on the other hand, is the fluid sign of dissolution, dreams, deep emotions, and boundless empathy. When Mars finds itself in Pisces, your intrinsic willpower gets diluted, your inherent drive becomes confused and scattered. You earnestly desire to move forward, yet you struggle to discern which precise direction to take. You attempt to initiate action, but your emotions continually flood in, causing you to second-guess every single impulse and decision. This, my friends, is precisely why you felt so profoundly stuck. This is why every decision has felt impossibly complicated, and why you've been utterly exhausted without even engaging in anything particularly demanding. But today, all of that debilitating stagnation unequivocally ends. When Mars finally charges into Aries, It's as if someone has just slammed the turbo button on your entire existence. The thick, obscuring fog lifts. The pervasive confusion miraculously clears. Suddenly, you can perceive the path forward with startling, crystal clarity. And, even more crucially, you are now endowed with the raw, potent energy, the unshakable courage, and the sheer force of will to actually stride confidently down that path. This is the pivotal shift you've been patiently, perhaps unknowingly, waiting for. And if you can already feel this potent energy beginning to build, if you've noticed a strange, invigorating restlessness creeping in over the past few days, if you've been experiencing sudden, sharp flashes of clarity about what you unequivocally need to do, that, my friend, is not your imagination playing tricks. That is Mars, your inner warrior, preparing to come home. Mars in Aries doesn't bother asking for permission. Here's a fundamental truth you need to grasp about this powerful transit. Mars intrinsically rules Aries. This is its natural, rightful home, its undisputed domain, the sacred space where it operates at its absolute full power, completely unburdened by any restrictions or limitations. In the intricate language of astrology, when a planet resides in the sign it rules, we refer to it as being in domicile. And what that signifies is that it possesses complete, unfettered access to all of its inherent resources and strengths. Consider it. In this illuminating way, Mars in Pisces was like a formidable warrior, valiantly attempting to engage in battle underwater, severely hampered by its environment. Mars in Aries, however, is that very same warrior, now firmly back on solid ground, weapon firmly in hand, poised and ready to charge headlong into action. The energy you are about to experience is pure, utterly unfiltered, and unapologetically direct action. Mars in Aries doesn't second-guess itself. It doesn't overthink. It doesn't idly wait for the elusive, perfect moment or the flawlessly executed plan. It simply perceives what undeniably needs to be done, and it does it with unwavering resolve. This is the potent energy of the pioneer, the trailblazer, the individual who boldly breaks new ground, not because they possess all the answers, but because they possess the indomitable courage to move forward regardless. And for the next exhilarating 6 weeks, as Mars blazes its fiery trail through Aries, this electrifying energy is fully and readily available to you. But, and this is an absolutely crucial distinction, you must be strategic and deliberate about how you channel and utilize this power. Because while Mars in Aries is undeniably potent, it can also be impulsive. It is courageous, yes, but it can also verge on reckless. It is decisive, but it also carries the potential to be destructive if wielded carelessly. This is precisely why the next 10 days hold such paramount importance. Mars isn't merely entering Aries in isolation, it's entering an Aries that is already bustling with other major planetary players. Saturn is there, Neptune is there, and as Mars purposefully moves through the early degrees of Aries, it's going to dynamically interact with both of these colossal forces in very specific, profoundly powerful ways. These interactions create 3 distinct, pivotal windows of opportunity. 3 moments when the raw courage you've been assiduously building can be channeled into strategic, truly life-changing action. I refer to them as the 3 bold moves. And if you truly wish to harness this Mars in Aries energy effectively, you absolutely need to understand what each of these crucial moments demands from you. Before we dive deeply into these 3 bold moves, you need to fully grasp the grander picture of what is currently unfolding in the celestial sphere. Because Mars entering Aries is not happening in a vacuum. It is occurring against one of the most significant and transformative astrological backdrops of our entire lifetime. Earlier this year, specifically in February, Saturn and Neptune forged an exact conjunction at the critical 0 degrees of Aries. If you don't meticulously follow astrology, allow me to provide some vital perspective. Saturn and Neptune only align in such a precise conjunction once every 36 years, and when they do, the very fabric of reality itself undergoes a profound restructuring. Saturn is the mighty planet of structure, discipline, firm boundaries, and tangible physical reality. Neptune, conversely, is the ethereal planet of dreams, dissolution, profound spirituality, and illusion. When these two colossal forces converge, the delicate line between what is overtly real and what is expansively possible becomes delightfully blurred. Old, antiquated systems crumble. Bold, revolutionary new visions majestically emerge. What once seemed utterly impossible suddenly becomes remarkably achievable, if you possess the courage to meticulously build it. This momentous conjunction occurred in Aries, the vibrant sign of new beginnings, fierce individual courage, and pioneering action. The unambiguous message emanating from the cosmos: it's time to rebuild reality, but you absolutely must do it through bold, independent, and self-initiated action. You cannot passively wait for someone else to undertake this monumental task. You cannot solely rely on the crumbling old systems. You must, intrinsically, become the architect of your own burgeoning future. And now, just weeks after this historic conjunction, Mars, the very ruler of Aries, comes home to powerfully activate it all. This, my friends, is no mere coincidence. This is the universe proclaiming, I showed you the grand vision. I dissolved the old restrictive structures. Now it is undeniably time to act. But here is where the intensity escalates even further. By mid-April, there will be an astounding 6 planetary bodies residing in Aries: the Sun, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Neptune, and Chiron. This powerful convergence creates what astrologers refer to as a stellium. This is a massive, concentrated surge of energy focused within a single sign. An Aries stellium is akin to having 6 fire alarms simultaneously blaring, all screaming the exact same urgent message: move, initiate, start, begin, now. This, then, is the dynamic environment Mars is boldly entering. This is the cosmic storm you are currently standing within. And if you believe you can simply ignore this potent energy and continue living your life as usual, you are indeed in for a rather rude awakening. Let me ask you something profoundly personal. Has there been something persistently on your mind lately? Something you genuinely thought you had let go of? Something you had made a conscious peace with not pursuing? Something you had convinced yourself wasn't the opportune time for? Perhaps it's a brilliant business idea you've been sitting on, allowing it to gather dust. Perhaps it's a difficult yet necessary conversation you've been meticulously avoiding. Perhaps it's a major life change you've been too terrified to initiate. Perhaps it's a deeply creative project that keeps persistently calling to you, whispering your name. Perhaps it's finally ending something that is unequivocally no longer serving your highest good. Whatever it is, it's been resurfacing, hasn't it? Over the past few days, perhaps even the past few weeks, you keep finding yourself thinking about it, relentlessly circling back to it. And each time, the gravitational pull grows a little stronger, a little more insistent. That, my friends, is Mars preparing to make its grand return home. That is your inner warrior, long dormant, preparing to gloriously awaken. That is your courage, steadily building an unstoppable momentum. You see, your soul inherently knows what's coming. Your higher self is already intricately tuned into this monumental cosmic shift, and it's diligently preparing you. It's purposefully bringing back to the forefront the very thing you need to take decisive action on, the very thing that demands profound courage, the very thing you've been too afraid, too weary, or too unsure to pursue. And here's the unvarnished truth. If it keeps coming back, if it refuses to leave your thoughts, it's because it's intrinsically meant for you. If it won't leave you alone, it's because your soul is desperately trying to convey an urgent message. And today, when Mars finally enters Aries, you're going to be imbued with the electrifying energy, the unparalleled clarity, and the sheer, unyielding force of will to finally, powerfully do something about it. But only if you are paying rapt attention, only if you are truly ready to act. Bold. Move 1. The Visionary Leap, April 13th. The first of these three pivotal bold moves manifests on Monday, April 13th, when Mars forms an exact conjunction with Neptune at 2 degrees Aries. This significant event occurs at 1003 at night, marking it as one of the most spiritually charged and potent moments of the entire month. Let me be unequivocally clear with you. This astrological aspect can manifest in one of two profoundly different ways. On the shadow, less evolved side, Mars conjunct Neptune can notoriously create pervasive confusion, debilitating exhaustion, and that frustrating sensation that you're relentlessly pushing against an invisible, suffocating fog. Your inherent willpower gets diluted. Your sense of direction becomes frustratingly unclear. You might feel profoundly drained, disoriented, almost as if you're engaged in a strenuous battle you simply cannot perceive. But, and this is the absolutely crucial distinction, on the higher, more evolved side, this very same aspect creates something truly extraordinary: the profound ability to take decisive action based purely on unwavering faith. Mars embodies the act of doing. Neptune represents the power of believing. When these two cosmic forces converge in Aries, the dynamic sign of the pioneer, you are gifted with the courage to leap fearlessly into the great unknown, to pursue a grand vision that may not at first glance make logical sense, to bravely move forward even when you cannot clearly discern the entire winding path ahead. This is your very first bold move of the visionary leaps. On or around April 13th, you are called to take action on something that demands an immense act of faith, something that lacks a guaranteed, predefined outcome, something that your logical mind might be vehemently telling you is too risky, too uncertain, too unclear to pursue. This is the courageous move that is driven purely by the deep conviction of your soul, not the pragmatic calculations of your spreadsheet. This is the pivotal decision that your intuition has been relentlessly screaming at you to make, even though you might struggle to articulate precisely why. This is the daring leap that might not make an iota of sense to anyone else, but it makes perfect, undeniable sense to you. Here's what very few people will tell you about the Mars Neptune conjunction. It inherently dissolves the ego's ingrained need for certainty. Your ego desperately craves guarantees. It hungers for tangible proof. It yearns to know precisely how things will ultimately unfold before it allows you to fully commit. But your soul, your beautiful, wise soul, needs none of that. Your soul already inherently knows. So, on April 13th, when conventional logic undeniably fails you, and the path stretching ahead appears shrouded in a thick, impenetrable fog, trust your intrinsic vision anyway. Take the momentous leap anyway. Make the bold move anyway. Because here's the profound truth. The actions you choose to take under the influence of this powerful transit, if they are deeply aligned with your higher purpose, will be miraculously supported by the universe in ways you simply cannot begin to predict. Doors will spontaneously open that you didn't even realize existed. Resources will miraculously appear that were conspicuously absent before. The fog will ultimately clear, but only after you've had the profound courage to step fearlessly into it. This is your initial test. Can you truly act on faith? Can you bravely move forward without needing to meticulously control every outcome? Can you trust your inner knowing above your outer circumstances? If you can, the universe will lavishly reward that profound courage. but you absolutely must make the first move. Bold. Move 2. The transformative pivot. April 16th. The second bold move occurs just 3 days later, on Thursday, April 16th, when Mars forms a powerful sextile to Pluto at 5 degrees Aries. This event happens at 3:00 in the afternoon, and the energy associated with it couldn't be more distinct from the Neptune conjunction. Where Mars-Neptune is often foggy and rooted in faith, Mars-Pluto is laser-focused and ruthlessly clear. This particular aspect is not about believing, it is about severing. Pluto is the profound planet of transformation, death, and rebirth, and the often uncomfortable exposure of what has long been hidden beneath the surface. It powerfully rules concepts of power, control, and the deep psychological forces that intrinsically drive human behavior. When Mars, the planet of direct action, connects so intensely with Pluto, you are gifted with concentrated, unyielding willpower. You gain the remarkable ability to cut directly through obstacles that would normally stop you cold in your tracks. This is your second bold move, the transformative pivot. On or around April 16th, you are tasked with identifying what is metaphorically dead in your life and taking decisive, immediate action to meticulously remove it. This could manifest as a draining relationship that has been sapping your energy for years, a soul-crushing job that suffocates your spirit, a limiting habit that keeps you perpetually stuck, or a self-defeating belief about yourself that is unequivocally no longer true. Whatever it is, you already inherently know what it is. You've known for quite some time. You simply haven't possessed the requisite strength or courage to undertake what undeniably needs to be done. But on April 16th, you will, because Mars sextile Pluto bestows upon you something rare and immensely powerful, the potent combination of raw courage and surgical strategy. This is not reckless destruction born of anger or frustration. This is precise, calculated, surgical precision. You are not indiscriminately burning everything down. You are making a deliberate, calculated decision to eliminate what is obsolete, thereby creating fertile ground for something vibrant and new to powerfully grow. Here's what makes this particular aspect so incredibly potent. It effectively removes your fear of consequence. Normally, when you contemplate making a major life change, your mind becomes flooded with terrifying, worst-case scenarios. What if I can't find another job? What if I end up completely alone? What if I spectacularly fail? But under the influence of Mars sextile Pluto, those paralyzing fears miraculously quiet down, not because they aren't real, but because you finally gain access to a deeper, more primal source of power, the profound power that emanates from knowing with absolute, unshakable certainty that remaining exactly where you are is simply no longer a viable option. This is the potent energy of the phoenix. You cannot majestically rise from the ashes until you are first willing to courageously burn. You cannot truly transform until you are willing to let the old, outdated version of yourself gracefully die. April 16th is your critical window. This is the moment when you make the bold pivot. This is when you decisively cut the cord. This is when you forcefully reclaim your inherent power by bravely walking away from whatever has been holding you hostage. And yes, it might feel terrifying. Yes, there might indeed be repercussions. But here's what I know with absolute certainty. The profound regret of remaining stuck is always far worse than the inherent risk of bravely moving forward. Bold. Move. 3. The disciplined execution, April 19th. The third and final bold move manifests on Sunday, April 19th, when Mars forms an exact conjunction with Saturn at 7 degrees Aries. This powerful event occurs at 6004 in the evening, and it is arguably the most challenging, yet simultaneously the most profoundly important, of the three moves. Mars and Saturn are traditionally regarded as the two malefic planets in classical astrology. Mars is inherently hot, fast, and impulsive. Saturn is characteristically cold, slow, and restrictive. When they come together in a conjunction, it's like simultaneously pressing the accelerator and the brake in a vehicle. This aspect can undeniably create intense frustration. You desperately want to surge forward, but you feel inexplicably blocked. You yearn to take action, but persistent obstacles keep appearing seemingly out of nowhere. You crave freedom, but relentless responsibilities continue to weigh you down. But here's what most people tragically miss about the Mars conjunct Saturn aspect. It is not designed to stop you. It is meticulously designed to refine you. This is your third bold move, the disciplined execution. On or around April 19th, you are compelled to take the raw, potent courage you've been diligently building and channel it into something sustainable, something enduring. You need to take the expansive vision you leaped toward on April 13th and the profound transformation you initiated on April 16th, and commit wholeheartedly to the long-term, diligent work required to manifest them into tangible reality. This is precisely where most people falter. They experience the initial burst of inspiration. They courageously make the initial change. But then, when the work inevitably becomes hard, when discernible progress becomes painstakingly slow, when the initial novelty inevitably wears off, they unfortunately quit. Mars conjunct Saturn will not permit you to quit. It forces you to consistently show up, even when you absolutely don't feel like it. It demands that you meticulously build robust structure around your visionary aspirations. It requires that you courageously exchange fleeting excitement for unwavering discipline, spontaneous impulsiveness for calculated strategy, and instant gratification for lasting, impactful results. This, my friends, is not the glamorous, celebrated part of courage. This is the unsexy, unglamorous, daily grind of consistently showing up and diligently doing the work, even when absolutely no one is watching. This is the pivotal part, where you prove to yourself and to the universe that you are unequivocally serious about your endeavors. Here's the hidden, profound gift tucked within this often difficult aspect. Everything you meticulously build under the influence of Mars, conjunct Saturn, lasts. The protective boundaries you diligently set hold firm. The sturdy structures you painstakingly create endure. The crucial commitments you courageously make stick. This is the fundamental difference between a mere flash of courage and a sustained life of courage. A flash burns brightly for a moment and then quickly burns out. A life of courage, however, is painstakingly built, one disciplined choice at a time. So, on April 19th, when the inevitable frustration strikes, when the seemingly insurmountable obstacles appear, when you feel an overwhelming urge to simply give up, that is your defining moment to dig deeper. That is your moment to unequivocally prove that your courage isn't solely about the exhilarating leap. It is profoundly about the patient, arduous climb. What happens if you miss this window?